So obviously bintang utama KL Autoshow 2025 yang korang kena datang nak tengok dan yang korang nak datang nak tengok ialah ini dia. Kereta elektrik pertama Perodua. Ini the actual car. This is the actual body yang dia akan gunakan. Tapi dia orang cat warna hitam supaya kita tak boleh nak nampak dia punya detail lah. Tapi daripada sini kita boleh nampak dia punya bentuk dia lah fastback design. So the fastback design ni dia orang pilih sebab dia orang nak image sporty untuk kereta ni. Which kind of aku faham kenapa dia punya strategi macam tu. Kerana kereta elektrik ni dia ada instant acceleration. So memang sesuai dengan image sporty. So kalau you boleh nampak sebelah sini pula dia dah cut away, you nampak all the car structure dan nampak all the EV platform. Kat bawah tu dia punya bateri dan you nampak dia punya dashboard layout. Kat sebelah sana ada satu display yang mana kita boleh duduk dalam ni dan itulah dia dashboard layout dia. Dia kata dah 90-95% done lah. So the layout, the stack, center console, screen size semua dah betul dah. Cuma yang mungkin tak betul ialah dia punya color and texture and finishing. You tengok dia punya roofline ni nampak memang dia ada sedikit mungkin kompromi untuk ruang tempat duduk belakang, tapi as a result you nampak a very strong visual element untuk the exterior design. Dan kalau kita tengok daripada jauh the sport back punya ataupun the fastback punya design tu aku rasa will create a very strong image for this car. Aku tak pastilah rim ni akan digunakan ataupun tidak, tapi inilah reka bentuk yang dia tayangkan dekat KL International Motor Show. Dan kalau you tengok dia punya lampu depan ni pun ianya memang hampir-hampir sama dengan apa yang kita tengok tadi, dan lampu dia mungkin kat bawah, yang atas ni mungkin just normal light bar. Dan situ you nampak dia punya arrangement untuk power system dia. Let's go over here. Dan kalau kita tengok dengan lebih dekat lagi, kita akan nampak atas tu probably dia punya power controller, elektrik motor, radiator dan sebagainya. Don't know whether akan ada front trunk ataupun tidak. Untuk sekarang nampak macam tak ada front trunk. Dan ini dia punya lokasi charging box ataupun charging port dia nampak dia letak dekat situ. So kalau kita tengok dekat bawah reflection, you akan nampak kedudukan bateri itu dekat situ. And at the back, probably using a very simple trailing arm punya suspension design, which is very good untuk keeping cost under control. Belakang dan depan nampak macam simple McPherson strut. So okay, now kereta ni dah turning around again. Kita akan tengok structure depan. Nampak ni McPherson strut punya arrangement, fairly straightforward. Lantai ni kita nampak agak tinggi sikit lah daripada biasa, tapi tak tinggi sangat. Kalau kita tengok ni masih lagi agak rendah juga. Dan tempat duduk belakang tu nampak agak sempit sikit lah, agak compromise. And tingkap belakang tu kecil ya. So kalau you duduk belakang mungkin you akan rasa sedikit sempit. But the boot space looks to be quite generous and quite big. Dan that's going to be penting jugalah untuk di Malaysia ni kita suka travel bawa macam-macam barang.
Activities and all that. Gonna have our PT production completion, maybe starting, a few production will start, and I think in September, October, we will start the final production, and hopefully, by end of the year, we are able to launch this vehicle as promised. And then in terms of challenges, is of course there are so many challenges, but the most critical challenges for us is that when we introduce this vehicle, it's not only for our own, experience and all that, but most important thing is that we have to create also the local ecosystem. So the challenge for us is actually how to get all those electrical items like batteries, the motor and all that to be localized in Malaysia. So the government has, give us some localization target. Of course, we will commit, to the investment or requirement by the government, and Allah, either we will try to meet stage by stage, and based on our latest count, quite a number of local vendors will participate. At this moment, I think 41 or 42 local vendors will participate, and after 6 months, some other vendors will also be participating. So yes, apart from the engineering related item, but second and the biggest interesting challenge for us is actually how to create the EV ecosystem, in our local industry. Thank you. rental battery or lease battery scheme, where we will be responsible for the battery. The user, of our vehicle will pay some rental fee, and then they don't have to be worried about the battery performance and all that. At all time, we will make sure that the battery actually performs according to the standard that we set. So, however, in terms of the loan, financing, and all that, we are working with our partner, the banks, and also financial institution. Basically, as far as customer is concerned, it is one single payment. Then also, internally between us and bank, actually, this is where we work together, for the financing as well as for the battery leasing. So that is the idea, basically.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah.
Talk about battery as a service. When we talk about the EV, we understand that Perodua's service and a lot of its finances and revenue come from the after-sales side of things. So naturally, with an EV, the after-sales experience, the after-sales affairs are very different.
Yeah.
So how does Perodua intend to manage that? What do the service tools look like for this vehicle? That's part one. The second factor is largely to do with the form factor of the vehicle itself. So, of course, as we've seen the evolution from Evo 1 to Evo 2,
Yeah.
it's largely taken the form of a hatchback. Now we're seeing something a bit more of a crossover coupe, which more importantly does compromise rear comfort and rear visibility outwards as well. So can you explain a little bit as to why Perodua settled on this particular design?
All right. Okay. On question number one, basically, we understand about the after sales service requirement and all that. That's why for our EV, initial rollout will be at our own outlet, at our own branch, basically. And then we are also working with our dealer and all that, basically, how to make sure that even though having EV as one of our products, they will not be short-changed in terms of their service or their income from the after sales and service. And bear in mind also, we actually for our EV, the battery change time is about 30 minutes. We can change the battery. So if anything wrong with the battery, or if any problem with the battery, you can always go to our service center, designated service center, for you to change the battery. And it is basically quote unquote supposed to be free, because the battery is actually under leasing concept. And number two, in terms of the design and silhouette of this vehicle, yeah, we call this what we call a fastback kind of category. And we compromise a little bit in terms of the back seat of the vehicle. But then if you sit inside the car, you still feel comfortable, of course. And why we do that is that in terms of handling, in terms of riding, in terms of speed and performance, if you drive this car, you will feel that you are not driving EV car. It's just like you drive a normal car, because we have, I think the top speed is more than like 60 km per hour. And then in terms of handling and all that, you feel that it is like a solid and heavy car. Therefore, I think for this EV model that we do, so we focus on driving comfort and handling, apart from the inner space in the car.
Sekarang ni Malaysia dah lain sikit, lebih kurang maju lah sikit, where we do not really have protections anymore, which means that if you carry your EV, the price can go below 100,000 ringgit Malaysia, which also means that you have new competitors in the future. So apart from EV, your other models also, how do you see this in the future for Perodua?
Thank you, Terima kasih, Henry. Of course, dulu kita kata initially kita kata limited production base, but now based on the product that we have, based on the the service and all that, basically kita kena ubah sikit ke direction tu. Now we're gonna go for mass production base. Cumanya for mass production ni I need a bit of time, because we have to make sure that kita akan start, kita akan ramp up kita punya production to I think more than 2,000 unit per month. So itu pun kita tengah nak finalize term of kita punya production capacity dan juga kita punya factory dan sebagainya. So the point yang kita kata, bila kita go for mass production tu, pada masa tu adalah kita kena make sure banyak lagi participation from kita punya local vendor. That's very important because if you go for mass production daripada beginning for example, tapi local content kita still very low, importing parts from overseas also tak ada makna sangat kepada industri otomotif tempatan. So that's why maknanya in order for us to go for mass production higher volume, kita bukan saja tengok Perodua, but we have to see also kita punya vendor system also must be in line dengan kita punya planning. So insyaAllah by end of this year, bila kita launch nanti kita akan announce all those details. Boleh. It is very challenging. Kita dah panggil sekarang ni in the market where kita call it dah ada price war lah. Kita nampak we observe that so many basically models, so many makes OEM, they start to reduce the price and all that. Cumanya kita still very confident in the sense that kalau any what you call competition, kalau dia healthy, kalau dia good, then it is good for the industry, we are okay. Cumanya kita tak nak yang tak healthy ni, yang mana for example bagi discount, bagi rebate and all that, and then does not contribute to the local ecosystem. So what we plan to do is that kita also we already have a discussion dengan kita punya with our local vendors and all that. So we also trying to explain to them, if possible, please do not do the pass-through item, because what we want to do is that the government must recognize the true localization, true local content, and pass-through items should not be allowed. So apart from the other policies and all that, I think we have to emphasize, we say that true local content must be done rather than pass-through. In terms of grant or incentive with the government tu kita belum belum finalize lagi in detail, because the requirement is that for us to prove ourselves first. We need that prove ourselves, we deliver the product, ada NIP, 2030, we have to deliver the product. At the same time also there is a requirement of the local content, local development and so on. So we are in the process of trying to fulfill whatever requirement given by the government. And as you know, any incentive also he has to be compensated by the local economic generation from the incentive that we receive. And then in terms of detail, as I mentioned earlier, pricing is that we're still targeting below 80,000 ringgit at this moment. Battery is based on battery accessories, for example, and also range is still about 400 km and above. Based on our latest testing, also we are able to meet that 400 km. Top speed maybe 165 km per hour, and then what is the dimension? You can see the range and all that. Here basically this is the fastback more towards the lower B segment basically.
Hello, Datuk Shamsul, Electronica. Glad to hear that you guys are talking a lot about localization. Out of the 42 vendors or so that's doing localization, can you maybe share with us what sort of parts they're doing in the initial stages for localization, and beyond that, what are your targets for major parts?
Alright, thank you, Shamsul. The 41 or 42 vendors that we have basically is actually the normal, the traditional part that we can procure locally, because for that, items of part, basically Malaysia kita dah ada, we have our own capabilities, and on the second stage is more on a bit more technical and complex. Kita panggil like EV related parts, for example, we're looking at battery, the motor, for example, the inverter and so on. So this will require additional support from us, and as well as the DA partner for our vendors, for them to develop. At the same time also, apart from the EV related, also is actually the ADA system, the AVA system and all that also we plan to localize. And I think, if not mistaken, after we introduce this car, more than about 6 months or so, additional 20 vendors will participate to produce this what we call the hardcore EV related parts. The battery rental plus the charging will not exceed the final ringgit per month.
Nice.
Thank you very much for the presentation. This is Seiichi Oshima from JJ Brands, a Japanese agency. I remember you once mentioned that one of the three major components of EV, inverter, motor, battery, should be produced in Malaysia. And actually, which one of them is produced in Malaysia? And also, did you use any technology from Daihatsu? Well, Daihatsu provide EV technology, but did you use any other technology from Daihatsu in the development of this new car?
Thank you for the question. As I mentioned earlier, out of the three, actually, we are trying to localize at least on the battery assembly and as well as the e-motor. But the time is not, during the initial production timing. It will take time because we have to have a local vendor partner, to set up the production in Malaysia. And on the second question, yes, we are not, we working, this EV basically we work on our own, no involvement at all from Daihatsu. And of course, I think as of now, apart from the what you call capabilities in terms of our R&D design, I think our members now, they're learning from this project, and as I mentioned, that's why we have to have MO1, MO2, MO3, whatever it is, because we want to learn actually on electrical, on EV related item. So by learning from others, from the universities and so on, I think now our members, they are capable of producing, of coming up with our own vehicle, including also the platform. And one good thing also is that the platform for this vehicle, basically IP is under Prototaip.
Listing mungkin tak final lagi lah, tapi just to be clear, listing program apa beza dia? I think you akan ada satu pilih terus, satu lagi akan gunakan listing. So apa differentiate antara dua-dua ni? Sebab adakah satu listing kita tahu kita tak pun bateri tu, tapi apa syaratnya? Mungkin kalau kita beli terus bawah 80% kita akan dapat warranty dari tu. Walaupun untuk listing lah apa membezakan dia gitu.
Alright.
Tapi if you are not doing swapping kan, ada bateri habis bukan
Belum.
itu bukan. Tapi untuk yang ini apa beza?
Kalau you ingat, I mentioned, change time for battery is 30 minit maximum. Maknanya number one, customer whether dia beli bateri ke ataupun dia lease bateri ke, if bateri ada problem, dia pergi to our service center, we can change the battery for you dalam masa 30 minit. So that one is actually one of the advantage lah of our car compared to the others. Number two is that of course kita belum finalize. It can be option where if customer want to buy battery plus car, battery for example, but if they do that, then the warranty kita bagi based on our standard warranties, which is actually 8 years lah. Kalau battery 8 years. Tapi kalau battery lepas 8 years deteriorated, then dia kena beli battery baru. Okay, itu bezanya. Kalau for example within that warranty period, if anything wrong with the battery, we will replace the battery under warranty scheme. Tapi kalau dia ambil leasing scheme for example, dia bayar monthly a few hundred ringgit, then after 8 years ke 9 years ke 10 years ke, they continue to pay that monthly. Dalam that rental period, battery memang segalanya percuma.
So maksudnya
Tapi kalau yang ambil leasing, maknanya you got to pay rental for battery lah. Also boleh. Tinggal lagi whether you want to buy cash created plus battery from beginning, or you want to buy ambil loan bank for the car but list cash for the battery, for example, we have not finalized the detail because you got to work out to make sure that actually for me is actually most important thing is really I want to create an ecosystem whereby electric car second hand value dia sepatutnya tak boleh drop sepatutnya, dan barulah kita ada ecosystem yang solid untuk kita dapatkan based on our target. Kita kata by 2030 it's going to be around what, 20% EV in Malaysia. Itu kita target. Apart from PHEV lah, campur PHEV is going to be around 60%, 20 plus 40.
20%
XEV 20%. So itu kita target. So if we want to develop this ecosystem, memang kita ada mechanism to make sure that no reduction in the resale value of the EV car. So, kalau kita jual ni also, kita tengah kalau nak jual kereta tu, kita jual balik kat kita lah. Maknanya, we also studying the guaranteed second hand purchase value of this car. kita tengah fikir. Sebab I nak minimize the risk kepada bank, so we take up some of the risk because battery kita take up. The same time also I nak minimize the risk of customer sebab kita tak nak the second hand value to drop. Kan? Sebab tu saya cakap tadi, kalau sekarang price war ni kita careful. Sebab kita jual kereta 100,000 and then few months later the same car you drop to 80,000, what happen to the 100,000 buyer? Habis harga dia. So kita tak nak that happen. So kita akan come up with a scheme where most probably the second hand selling price of this car, they can come back to our used car center, kita ada kita punya POV center, and then kita also ada scheme yang kita akan buat based on guaranteed second value after 5 years, after 9 years. So kita akan tengok macam tu.
Alright, thank you to yang berbahagia Dato' Sri and also
Alright, thank you.
Okay, justly final production untuk EV ni adalah pada September, Oktober.
Ya, final production kita target sebenarnya Oktober. September tu kita dah dia not really production lah, kita panggil final final pilot production. Final production. So the actual production tu by end of this year. Tapi kita tak sure sama ada kita nak buat advance production untuk launching ataupun tidak. Tapi memang kita akan launch by end of this year.
So to be on the market by end of this year lah.
Yes. Yes.
So dari segi local content ni berapa persen untuk Perodua?
Dia kita target local content at this moment initially is above 30% the percent value. Tapi kita target selepas a few months of production and all that, dengan adanya localization of the critical component kita panggil tu, then maybe hopefully it can reach more than 60%.
So price range dia below 80,000.
Below 80,000. Ya.
Nama rasmi tu sih?
Ha?
Nama rasmi dia lah.
Nama rasmi sebab dia rasmi. Hari ni majlis tak rasmi lagi.
Dato' Sri, apa kelebihan EV car Perodua ni berbanding dengan yang kat luar tu? Apa yang the
itulah.
best of the best of
Alright.
EV car ni?
Satu, memang kereta ni kita design untuk kalau you rasa you bawa kereta ni, dia bukan macam the normal EV car yang bawa. Macamnya you drive kereta biasa. Sebab kita nak educate consumer Malaysia ni, maknanya kadang-kadang ni dia orang ni a bit difficult untuk bawa EV ni because range anxiety lah, apa semua, lepas tu feeling lain, tak solid handling dan sebagainya. Sebab kita punya kereta ni, if you sit in the car also, dia akan rasa macam tak adalah iPad besar-besar kat situ, tak adalah monitor screen besar-besar, sebab rasa macam kereta biasa. That is number one. Number two, and then kereta ni memang kita buat slightly nak panggil quote-unquote performance car. Solid handling, the feeling, sebab that's why kita go for maximum, kita punya top speed to more than 160 km per hour. Sebab dia nampak solid dan sebagainya. And then kita punya target also is like for example on the younger generation, young people with one or two family, one or two kids for example, and for them to enjoy the ride. So lepas tu range, I rasa 400 km is good enough, you know. At the same time also, yang satu kelebihan saya rasa is that I've tried to make sure that there is no reduction in term of kita punya second hand value. Tak banyak sangat drop macam kereta-kereta ada sekarang. Kereta sekarang ni elektrik kalau you beli because bateri tu tak confident. Lepas 8 tahun what you gonna do? Harga akan jatuh. Orang tak boleh buat apa. So kita punya ni kita make sure lepas 8 tahun pun, 9 tahun pun kereta kalau you jual dia ada value. Sebab bateri kita control. You can always get a new battery daripada kita.
So Dato' Sri, harga below 80,000.
Yes.
Juga ada sales target tak untuk this?
Sales target ni kita belum lagi. Kita pun susah nak buat sales target ni sebab ini first time kita buat EV vehicle. So customer acceptance pun kita kena study. Cumanya dalam progress kita, kalau you notice apart from the MO series yang kita buat apa semua, kalau you notice also kita sign banyak MOU dengan banyak Petronas Jentari lah, TM lah, tenaga dan sebagainya. Sebab kita nak infrastructure also seiring dengan kita punya vehicle lah development, and at the same time as I mentioned earlier also dengan ekosistem kita also seiring, local ecosystem. Jadi hopefully kalau saya buat initially lebih kurang dalam 500 unit per month for example, tapi saya jangka dia akan melebihi daripada 500, cuma kita tak tahu apa dia maximum target yang kita nak letak. Ada semua vehicle.
Hybrid vehicle that was in development. Any update on it?
Hybrid vehicle so far no. So far no update on that one because we are still working. That one is actually we are working with Daihatsu, Japan. This year no hybrid vehicle introduction.
So full production ni target 500 unit lah.
500 unit. 500 unit.
So dari segi parts ke industri dia bateri dia semua tu, adakah dia mudah untuk kalau jika berlaku nak pertukaran ni?
Mudah. Sebab tu kita kata 30 minit boleh tukar bateri. Datang tu showroom 30 minit kita tukar bateri. Maknanya the battery setup all kita dah design
Maknanya dia boleh masuk lifter tu senang kita tukar terus. Sebab kalau kita tak design, you kena hantar your EV dekat service center tunggu 3 bulan. Sebab they are not designed for change. So in future nanti kita tengok macam mana. Sama dia yang penting tu yang kita nak untuk model EV kita ni adalah platform tu IP kita. So bila platform IP kita, besok kita nak design macam mana, nak buat battery swapping ke apa ke, senang. Sebab it is Perodua.
Atau angka 80,000 tu masuk in the context of leasing.
Tak. Termasuk 80,000 is actually harga body kita. Harga body kita. Tak termasuk leasing. Charging power berapa Jen? 60 DC. 60, 60, 60.
Bateri as a service. Jadi bila kita datang blazer antara beli dengan sewa tu macam tak banyak sangat. Adakah you akan merancang untuk offer battery swapping juga untuk mereka yang leasing battery?
Dia yang battery swapping tu sebenarnya kalau dari segi perancangan memang kita ada rancangan. Tinggal lagi kita nak tunggu dulu kita launch ni, lepas tu baru kita tengok dari segi consumer, dari segi market acceptance dan sebagainya. Sebab kalau nak buat bateri, as you know, kerajaan sekarang dia try nak introduce yang bateri passport tu. Maknanya the traceability of the battery tu kena ada. Sebab apa, bila kita swap dan boleh sistem, boleh terima tak kalau kita nak swap sekarang ni 30 minit saya tukar bateri, maknanya kita kena re-register balik bateri dengan body punya matching tu dalam masa 30 minit. Kalau kita nak buat swapping dalam masa 2 minit, adakah sistem kita boleh accept or not? Hantar balik dekat kita punya registration dan sebagainya. Sebab tu kita tengah study all this. Maknanya bukan Perodua saja, tetapi dia involve the total ecosystem. Itu yang kita tengah work out benda-benda. Sebab dia, kalau tidak, kita nanti ada mismatch. Jadi besok kalau kita tukar bateri atau swap, nanti tak tahu siapa responsible kalau bateri itu besok akan provide kerosakan kepada environment for example in the future. Orang curi bateri kat kedai potong for example, siapa? Dia tak tahu. So memang ada traceability lah, ada ID.
Kita so jangka hayat bateri tu berapa lama boleh pakai pengguna?
Maknanya kereta model lain lah, ataupun facelift apa semua. Pada masa tu lah different scheme lah.
Faham.
Sebab dia yang penting tu, satu yang kita dapat untuk model ni platform Perodua. Bila platform Perodua tu bateri size nak kecil ke besar ke kita boleh manage.
Faham.
Itu yang penting. So and then yalah, ada 2-3 development nanti which nanti saya tak boleh announce sekarang nanti by hujung tahun.
Yang Tofi kata 80,000 tu kan, yang itu adalah bersekali dengan bateri ke ataupun bersingkan? Yang itu. Jadi dekat Perodua ni antara benda yang kita suka dengar tadi daripada CEO Perodua dan Presiden Perodua ialah tentang local content dan how dia orang tengah fokus kepada local industrialization, bermula dengan 42 vendor yang akan membekalkan komponen kepada kereta ini dan akan meningkat kepada 60 dalam tempoh 6 bulan selepas kereta ini dikeluarkan. Dan mereka ada perancangan untuk menghasilkan bateri dan motor dan juga mungkin BMS secara tempatan di Malaysia. So apapun aku berharap Perodua akan berjaya dalam usaha dia. Kalau usaha dilakukan tanpa bantuan daripada sebarang teknologi partner seperti Daihatsu, dan dia akan menjadi produk pertama EV daripada Malaysia yang sebetul-betul daripada Malaysia. Jadi kita nak dia berjaya, especially since dia ada very serious program untuk local content.